You know your cat loves you. But have you ever thought about or noticed whether they get jealous of you too? Most cat owners never even consider that their cat might experience deep and complex emotions. Yet a 2020 observational study conducted by a California-based behavioral science research group found that when cats have to share their owner's attention with another creature or object, they display reactions strikingly similar to what we recognize as jealousy in humans. And by the end of this video, you'll learn about a behavior that happens to be one of the most misunderstood signals among cats. Most people interpret it in exactly the opposite way, and because of this, they miss a growing tension between them and their cat without ever realizing it. So make sure you watch until the end, because once you learn the behavior waiting for you at number 1, you'll never look at some of the things your cat does the same way again. Let's start at number 7. Number 7, your cat suddenly starting to meow excessively. Many people simply interpret this as they're hungry or they're trying to get attention. But if this meowing increases specifically while you're paying attention to another animal, a baby, or even a new partner, it has nothing to do with hunger or general attention-seeking. According to ethology researchers, cats are social creatures that maintain their bonds through vocal communication, and when their owner's attention shifts elsewhere, they intensify this vocal communication to send the message, "Notice me too." This is, in fact, the simplest and most direct expression of jealousy. Practically speaking, if your cat is behaving this way, yelling at them or ignoring them will significantly damage your relationship with them. Instead, setting aside just a few minutes a day of uninterrupted attention dedicated solely to them greatly reduces this behavior. Because what your cat actually wants is very simple, knowing that a portion of your time belongs only to them. Number 6, we have urine marking, your cat urinating in places they normally wouldn't, especially on your belongings or the belongings of a new person or animal. This behavior is often misread as, "My cat is acting out or becoming badly behaved." But as veterinary behaviorists frequently point out, when a healthy cat suddenly starts behaving this way, it almost always signals an emotional trigger. Cats define their territory and relationships through scent. Marking an item that carries your scent is essentially their way of saying in cat language, "This person is mine, I'm not sharing them." If you're dealing with this situation, always get a health check first, since urinary tract issues can look similar. But if there's no medical issue, the solution isn't punishment. It's creating a space that feels safe and belongs only to your cat, like their own blanket or their own corner. Number 5, your cat suddenly inserting themselves physically between you and a new animal or person. Trying to climb into your lap, settling right in the middle while you're on the phone, or wedging themselves in while you're petting a new pet. This behavior is often seen by people as cute, but the underlying message is actually very clear. I belong right here in the middle of this relationship. Behavior experts call this blocking behavior, and note that in social species, humans included, just as with cats, it stems from resource-sharing anxiety. Here's the practical point to keep in mind. If you push your cat away when they insert themselves like this, it reinforces the jealousy. Instead, making them part of that moment too, for example, petting your cat with one hand while petting the new animal with the other, helps your cat feel not excluded, and this will help reduce the behavior over time. And number 4, sudden changes in appetite. Your cat may suddenly become indifferent to food they normally love, or the opposite, start eating unusually fast and greedily. Especially if this change appears after a new animal or family member joins the household, it's a physical reflection of emotional stress. Behavioral observations on cats show that stress and jealousy can directly alter appetite by affecting cortisol levels. If your cat is anxious about sharing resources, they may eat quickly as if competing with the other animal at the food bowl, or the opposite may happen, losing their appetite from stress. The right move here is providing each animal with their own separate, secure feeding area. Even this small change helps your cat feel like they don't have to compete for resources. If you've made it this far, you've probably already noticed at least one of these behaviors in your own cat. Maybe right now you're thinking, our cat does that too. That's exactly why I recommend subscribing to the channel and liking this video so you don't miss content like this, because in upcoming videos we'll keep decoding these subtle but meaningful signals your cat sends you. Now let's move on to the 3 most critical items on the list. Number 3, excessive grooming, or the opposite, completely neglecting grooming. When cats are stressed or emotionally tense, they often reflect this in their self-care. Some cats lick the same spot for hours, to the point of hair loss or even skin irritation from overgrooming. Others go the opposite direction, neglecting their grooming entirely and ending up looking messy and unkempt. Behavioral scientists call this displacement behavior. The cat redirects an emotional tension they can't resolve onto the one thing they can control, their own body. Jealousy is one of these tensions. If your cat started behaving this way after a new animal or person arrived, giving them more play and interaction time will help them release this energy in a healthy way. At number 2, non-aggressive but clearly deliberate blocking behaviors, like your cat sitting on your keyboard while you're using the computer, lying on your book while you're reading, or planting themselves directly in your line of sight while you're on the phone. This behavior may look cute, but it actually sends a very clear message. Give me your attention right now. Especially if this behavior increases when there's another animal or a new person in the house and you're paying attention to them, it's definitely jealousy-driven. What's interesting is that cats mostly do this without any aggression, simply by physically getting in the way, because what they really want isn't conflict, it's your attention. The right approach here is not to push the cat away immediately, but to focus on them briefly and then gently return to what you were doing. This teaches your cat the balance of "I see you, but not everything has to revolve around you." And now we've arrived at number 1, and if you remember, I promised you something at the start of this video. I saved the most misunderstood behavior for last. Here it is, your cat suddenly showing more cuddling, more lap climbing, and more headbutting when they're feeling jealous. Most people interpret this as "my cat really loves me," and assume it has nothing to do with jealousy. But the truth is the opposite. Behavior experts explain that cats increase closeness to reinforce a bond they feel is under threat, a relationship they're afraid of losing. So your cat is actually trying to tell you, "Please don't forget me, I'm still here." This closely resembles a dynamic we also see in human relationships. When a relationship feels threatened, sometimes the reaction isn't to pull away, but to hold on even tighter. So if your cat suddenly started climbing into your lap and rubbing against you much more after a new animal or person arrived, see it not as an outburst of affection, but as a search for reassurance. Pushing them away or saying "not now" only deepens that insecurity. Instead, accepting the moment and giving them a few minutes helps your cat rebuild their sense of security. In the end, a cat's jealousy isn't all that different from ours. Both stem from the same root: fear of loss and the need to feel valued. Your cat doesn't live in a world separate from you. They notice every bit of attention, every touch, every glance you give, and when they feel these fading, they try to tell you in the only language they have, their behavior. Maybe after watching this video today, you'll never look at those small, strange behaviors your cat shows you the same way again. If you've noticed any of these behaviors in your own cat, share them in the comments, because every cat speaks its own language, and sometimes understanding it just takes looking a little closer. Everything you want to know about your cat is right here on this channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications to learn more.